Time to check in with our lizard overlords. What are they up to? Well, this.
Is this the worst hour now?
Are we done our first hour?
Yeah, we're into our worst hour now.
Keep your expectations of this episode low. Starting the worst hour now, I feel like we've crossed into maybe not great content hour.
Welcome to our worst hour.
I called the bank end of last week, and I said, how would you guys feel if I bought a cottage? And they said, well, we'll look at the numbers. My accountant had mentioned previously that since I have no primary residence right now, we're renting my old house. The corporation owns my new house. I don't own a primary residence, so I can't take advantage of the primary residence capital gains exemption. So he says, I'm not telling you to buy a cottage, but you may want to consider buying a cottage.
Nice.
And something came up just outside of town, so
Can you buy something closer to me?
How far away is a cottage? How far away is a cottage from your house?
20 minutes.
Wow.
That's not really a cottage.
You sound like my wife. And she's like, well, if I want to go to a cottage, I want to get away. I said, no, you want to go to the cottage and be on the water and be able to go home whenever you want and not have to drive 2 hours to do chores at the cottage all weekend. You want to go there, sit on your ass on the dock and relax. You don't want to be if you're 2 hours away at your cottage, you get sick of driving 2 hours. If you're 20 minutes away, you can go in the evening if you want after work.
It doesn't seem like a cottage. I'm gonna vote. I'm voting with your wife.
I'm telling you. No, she came around. She saw things my way. So give it 20 more minutes and you'll see things my way. By the time you go to bed tonight, you'll be like, yeah, you know what? A lot on the water.
I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I'm saying that's not a cottage. It's a second home. It's a home on the water.
Okay.
I'll agree with that.
It's got a cottage feel. It's not as big as my regular house.
You got to drive to a cottage. A second home on the water?
20 minutes away.
20 minutes.
There's cell phone reception there. I don't want to go to buttfuck nowhere where I can't get cell phone reception.
Generally, you get better cell phone reception in buttfuck nowhere.
Oh.
Like the jungle or the middle of the fucking ocean. All better than Whitby. Fuck Whitby. If I drive 20 minutes from my house, I just end up still in Whitby. Well, I live in Oshawa. 20 minutes away is Whitby. I couldn't drive to a cottage 20 minutes away.
But I can, and that's incredible to me. To be right on the water right there.
Then you got to buy a boat, Sea-Doos.
A boat, yeah. I'm not a Sea-Doo person.
Why not?
Yeah.
What about a Sea-Doo boat?
Yeah, those are okay.
Sea-Doo makes a mean
yeah,
platform boat now, or whatever you call them.
boating culture is big around.
Pontoon. You're fucking right, Mike. That's what it's called. Boating culture is what, Chad?
Big.
Oh yeah.
We're right on the St. Lawrence, right? So like the water sports or water leisure is a big deal around here.
Do you have a boat?
Nope.
How many dead boats are at your yard?
None, but there used to be 3 or 4. I think it's still on Google Earth. You can pick out like 4 or 5 boats.
When you talk about being close to boat culture, I was like, how many dead boats are on your property that people bought to fix and then never fixed?
Yeah.
Dead boats are a big thing. People love a good dead boat.
People love dead boats. Yeah, you're right. The motors for boats are insanely expensive.
Insanely expensive.
Insanely
Yes.
expensive.
Insanely expensive.
You could put a Cummins on a fucking boat for cheaper than you could put like an Evinrude or something like that.
Absolutely. Boat motors are fucking crazy money.
$15,000 for a boat motor to go on your like fishing boat, and that's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think Kelly's dad's boat motor for his pontoon boat was like 30 grand or something.
Yeah, everybody thinks, oh, it's a great deal, and then they find out the motor doesn't work.
Very unreliable.
Yeah. Which I don't know. They don't. Is there that much that can go wrong?
With boats?
Like I've had the same quick cut for 4 years and it still runs. Why can't a boat motor do the same? Or
I'm sure there's people who've had boat motors for 4 years and they still run. They maintain them.
yeah, I suppose. So anyway,
So
if I get a cottage, you're all invited.
I'll come to the cottage.
See,
It's more than a 20-minute hour drive for me.
Yeah, yeah. I like a good project, cottage project.
Are you going to buy a you know what else is insanely expensive? Docks.
Yeah,
I had a buddy getting into the dock game. It was insanely expensive.
yeah. Gotta have a barge.
The dock game was like he was getting a dock. It was fucking expensive to get a dock.
Yeah, I think the owners of the brickyard in town just put in a new dock, and it was like 50 grand or something.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, docks are wild. You should get in the dock business.
There's already dock guys around here. I have no desire to put my excavator in the water.
Why would you need to put it in the water?
Well, okay, maybe I'm stretching that. I guess you could do it with like a hoe ram or something, like a ram on the barge for putting your piles in.
Why don't you put a skid steer in the garage so that you can just go right out of the garage and plow the snow?
Because we just put a home gym in the garage.
Hmm. So you're not going to go to the gym anymore?
No, I'm still gonna go. My wife wants to work out at home, so
I'm looking at this Instagram post and it says Tuesday staff devos. What does that mean?
is it your post?
No. God, I hope I know what I post. I think that's a legitimate question, but I may not know what I posted. 100% legitimate, but this says Tuesday staff devos. What does that mean?
What's a Devo?
I don't know. It's a picture of a piece of paper with some highlighted writing, a candle, and it says Tuesday staff devos.
Hmm.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
You know what it means, Mike? It seems like something you would know what it means.
No idea. What's the context?
It's you want to look it up? Go to Creekside Outdoor Living and look up. It's a picture of a piece of paper on a table with a candle that says Tuesday staff devos. I don't know what it means. I wish I did. If someone knows what this means, leave us a voicemail. Tuesday staff devos. What's a devo? Devos. It's more than one. So if you're only doing one, it would be a Tuesday staff devo.
It's not a diva. I was once
Devo.
voted most likely to be the diva of the Not Our Finest Hour.
Were you?
That was from your polls that you posted way back.
Oh,
Maybe that's
yeah.
changed since then. I don't know.
You know how the guy that shot the CEO got caught at the McDonald's?
Yeah.
Burger King posted a thing that says, "We don't snitch."
Did they really? Or I did see that. But did they actually do that?
Did
I
Burger
don't
King
know.
actually do it, or is it just like a meme?
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't
just a
know.
meme.
I hope Burger King actually did it because
I
it's
think
fucking great.
I think that's
Fuck
too far for
McDonald's.
a girl corporation to do that.
Fucking fuck McDonald's. Or maybe the Burger King CEO doesn't want to get popped.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I feel like it's not a great time to be a CEO.
I'm a CEO. You're a CEO.
The CEO of small business. I'm not a CEO. That's the title.
What's your title in the company?
I think I'm listed as vice president.
I'm just owner. Like, is there legitimate?
No, I know what I call myself. It's on my LinkedIn. I can tell you what I call myself. It's on my a proprietor. That's what I call myself. Proprietor.
Hmm.
I think. I don't like the whole owner thing.
Owner.
That does nothing for me.
Yeah.
I don't
Proprietor
like
doesn't for me.
what?
Proprietor doesn't do it for me. What are you, Mike?
What about founder? You like founder?
Founder? No.
That's not bad because it means you might not own it. My
Or
goal in life is to have no one think that I own this business.
Nobody thinks I own natural design. Nobody.
That's the greatest place to be.
They'll go up to every single other worker than me before they'll come up to me because they think any one of these guys would be an owner before this fucker looks like he owns the company.
Yeah, it says proprietor. So I would never want anyone to think that I own the company.
I'm indifferent. What does it matter?
I just don't like the thought of being an owner.
when you came on the How to Hardscape podcast, you introduced yourself as laborer.
Yeah.
You said I'm a laborer at Paver King Enterprises or whatever.
I'm still laboring at Paper King Enterprises. There's been no movement, no upward movement. Uh I don't know. I just don't I just don't I don't know, I just don't, it makes me uncomfortable. I've always been like I just hated authority. So it just makes me uncomfortable to for someone to think that I'm an authority of something. You know?
The big cheese.
I don't know. I don't like it. It just makes me I don't know. I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. Maybe it shouldn't.
Maybe that's what I'll change my title to. Big cheese
Jeez.
on anything.
Why not the landscape daddy? That's your
Well,
title.
as daddy. I love daddy. Uh, yeah, I guess I could. It's not often I have to um, put my title in something. But I was
I don't even like signing anything. I get Kelly to do it. I try to avoid signing anything or anything like that.
um I was assaulted by my hot tub yesterday. Yeah. I so I wasn't there whenever we they delivered the hot tub, and no one mentioned to me that there's this little red button that you have to flip whenever you're taking off the cover, which is just like the piston that helps assist the cover going up. And I didn't do that, and I just fucking reamed the whole cover off and broke the arm off in the process. And my daughter wanted to go in the hot tub yesterday afternoon, and it was storming, like snowstorming, windy out and everything. We're in the hot tub just enjoying the snowstorm and whatever, and the whole lid comes fucking crashing down on me. I hurt my neck so bad. It hit me in the head. I hurt
Really?
my neck. Oh yeah, I'm fucked today.
Was it the
Like,
wind or did it just
no,
like automatically close on
no,
you?
the wind like
Oh,
blew it
okay.
down because there's nothing to hold it up. It broke that little red
Jeez.
thing, right? So when my wife got mad at me, she's like, I told you. I'm like, you never told me. If you told me, it wouldn't be broken right now. So anyway, I wonder if you can replace that part because I can't afford to be hit in the neck again. That was awful.
Jeez.
Yeah. So anyway,
The driveway, the hot tub cover, man, it's been a rough week for you.
and yeah, I blame it on work slowing down. If we
Oh
were
yeah?
still full pin, I wouldn't have time for problems like hot tubs and driving off the side of the driveway. Now that things are calming down, there has to be other sorts of problems that take up your day. Otherwise, the day is just too long. So,
Yeah.
What do
When are
you
you
plan
done?
on? Sorry.
When are you done, Chad?
um, maybe this time next week. We have to figure out that propane dig situation, and then we're doing this other retirement home where you have to put in the pads because they're all like courtyards, and we're gonna lose access because they're building the walls over the winter, and we're gonna lose access to all four courtyards. But before we do that, we have to put interlock pads in each one of them and then fill them all with hundreds of tons of river stone. And there's no way this can be done after the fact. Like you have to drive a skid steer through
Mm.
now to do it. So,
Hmm.
so we'll see.
Do you guys not have like lots of snow there still?
Yeah, it snowed yesterday. We probably got 3 or 4 inches on the ground. But
Oh
tomorrow's
yeah.
supposed to be like rain +7 or whatever, 30 mils. And then it gets cold again and warm again. So we'll be it's right in the area where you can work, but you're not working effectively. So you're
Right.
mostly wasting money and time, but you're trying anyway.
Yeah.
That's what this
Love
whole,
wasting money and time.
yeah, for the sake of just lying to yourself a minute. Yeah, we're getting ahead here. Like this wall build, I priced like the labor portion of it. I'm like $9,600 to put in this wall, and the guys have been there 7 days now. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 6 days now. It'll be a total of 7 days to build this wall, which in the summer would have been a 3-day build. So,
When you guys price projects, do you price according to the season, or is it more difficult, especially with commercial, with not knowing exactly when that project is gonna start?
oh, you never know.
Yeah,
Whatever the date they say they're going to be ready for you, add like 4 months sometimes. Like you never know.
gotcha.
Someone smarter than me would go after date changes and payments and all this stuff, but not me.
I think if you start pricing for the season, you're never going to get a fucking job out of season.
Hmm.
Like if you actually priced what it costs, if you're bidding a job in July that you know you're going to do in November, and you actually price that job for what it actually costs to do a job in November, you'll never get the work.
Yeah.
Because someone else is going to price it like it's a regular job.
You have to lie to yourself.
Or say you don't want the work. Yeah, or lie to yourself. Yeah, lie to yourself. Perfect. Yeah, just lie to yourself. It's going to be okay. It's not going to rain or be muddy.
You have to, and then shovel your way out of the bad price.
Mm.
Find a way to do it.
Or like Mike, just cheap out on plywood.
I saw your comment.
This guy's got YouTube videos. He's got like 3 sheets of fucking plywood, big gaps in between. Like, why do you want to fix the gap of the grass in between in the gap?
PK doesn't know that it rained for 3 days during that. I've got like 10 or 12 sheets of plywood. They were all soaked and slick, so I couldn't use them. I used the 3 sheets of plywood that I had dry to get up the steepest part of the hill. PK, you're just an average YouTube commenter.
I'm a YouTube troll.
Why don't you get some of those?
No, you had 2 videos and both of them didn't have any plywood. I commented on 2 different videos, and because both of them,
I only got one comment.
one of them you're going into the backyard and there's huge gaps between the fucking plywood. That's like, get some plywood, you cheap fuck.
I got tons of plywood. I don't need more plywood.
Get some ground mats.
I could
Mulder's
use
selling
some
that shit
ground
by the
mats.
fucking skid, man. Go down to
Yeah.
Ohio, get a fucking skid of mats, bring them back up.
I love our ground mats.
Where's he from? Oh, he's from Indiana, right?
Is he? Yeah.
Mulder? Yeah. He's from Indiana. So go down to Indiana, get yourself some fucking mats, come
Do you
back.
guys have ground mats?
No,
No.
I have plywood.
15 of them. Or at one time I had 15. I think I have 14 now.
Oh,
One
yeah.
disappeared.
What ground? You have ground mats?
Yep.
Do you think they're better than plywood?
Yeah.
I always felt like they weren't stiff enough. They were too wavy.
They're good enough. I mean,
You have a standard, I have a standard.
yeah, I suppose. You also rip up entire yards and resod them, and I tend
Yes,
not to. So,
I do that shit all the time.
I will do
I'm,
anything.
I'm fucking crazy like that.
You know what you need? You need a tilt rotator with a broom on it, and you stand that grass right back up like it was never flattened to begin with. It does an incredible job at raking gravel and shit out of the lawn. Like it's mind blowing how nice of a job those brooms do.
Broom or brum?
Brum.
Why is it called a brum?
It's what we call it here. The brum.
Fucking Cornwall. It's like a place unto its own. The cottage is 20 minutes away. You got brums. Fucking wild out there.
And the brums of the cottage.
Yeah. Could you see yourself like coming home after a day and saying, fuck it, let's head to the cottage for the night?
Yeah.
Go out there, watch the sunset, and then come back to the house?
Why not just stay at the cottage? Don't have to get up early tomorrow to go to work. We can get up at the same
I'm
time.
saying on like a Tuesday.
Yeah. So
When are you
sleep
going to
at the
stay at the
cottage.
cottage during the landscape season?
Sure. Because you can. Because it's not 2 hours away.
Isn't this just like having a second house?
Fine. It's a second house with a better view.
Why not just
It
not like
technically is, right? Because that's what the accountant asked of me. Buy a house that you can claim as a primary residence and get the tax exemption.
so now your problem is you have too many houses. Fucking suffering out there in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Too
everybody,
many
why the
houses.
fuck would you want to live in Cornwall? That place is disgusting. And you know what? I think I'm doing just fine.
What? How much is a cottage in Cornwall?
Uh,
I have no idea. I'm just asking.
They're asking 650 for this place.
What is it? What do you get for 650?
1,000 square feet of living space and waterfront property. You probably
wow.
have
On a river or a lake?
on a river,
On the St. Lawrence River?
the mighty St. Lawrence River.
So you could go out sturgeon fishing.
Okay, there's dolphin, I think.
St. Lawrence is
Dolphins.
clean?
Are any are any of the waterways really clean?
Yeah,
Especially
that's-
downstream from fucking Toronto.
Is there a strong current? Like, what's it like?
No, you can swim in the St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People
This-
swim in Lake Ontario here, but
This
I wouldn't.
property has like a sandy bottom dock, right? Like you could swim at your dock.
You won't get sucked away by the current.
No, Jesus. No.
Does it look like a lake, but it's actually moving somewhere?
Yeah.
But
You
it
would
just
think,
looks like a lake.
yeah, if nobody told you that this was a river, you'd think you were on a lake.
Hmm.
If you went out to the middle on a floaty, would you follow the current
Up in
if you
Montreal.
fell asleep?
How many square feet is your house?
2,200, I think,
And what do you think your house is worth?
right now. I don't know, 800.
So, not on the water, with a view of a landscaping yard, 2,200 square feet is. So the water makes a big difference in Cornwall,
Water makes a big difference anywhere.
Yeah.
especially in Cornwall. How
Yeah.
close is the local pizza shop to the cottage?
Oh, you can get fish and chip probably 5 minutes away. Then maybe make you a pizza if you ask them nice enough.
How many cottages have you looked at?
One.
Don't you think you should
I'm
look
not
at?
in the market for a cottage. This one just happens to be there, and I would buy it if the bank says, "Here's the money to buy it."
So currently, you have no mortgage with the bank.
Yeah, the corporation has a mortgage with the
The
bank for.
corporation is a separate entity from you, though.
So I don't. My wife does for her old house.
So you would be the only one.
No, her and I would own this new house as well, or this cottage,
So she would have to get a second mortgage.
or don't. Whatever makes the numbers work better. Really doesn't matter.
Is the cottage winterized? Could you go there in the winter?
Yeah, 4 seasons.
Hmm.
You could ice fish, walk out onto the lake or the river.
Does the river freeze over?
Yep.
Really?
Depends where, but yeah,
How far of a drive is it from me to Cornwall?
4 hours.
Mike could set up there and work all winter.
Yeah.
Work
And
from
it's a real
inside.
I'll take care of the
cottage
place
because
for
it's
you.
4 hours away. The further you
4
go,
hours is too far for a cottage.
Yeah,
what's the
4
idea?
hours is pushing it.
20 minutes is too close. 4 hours is too far.
There's no such thing as a cottage too close.
If you get a cottage in Kingston, Chad, then we're in business.
No, because it's way further than my 20-minute ideal.
Couldn't you just buy another house in town?
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be on the water.
Why do you want to go to another place? You just built this other house.
What about Prince
Or
Edward
it's just
County?
it's just the
That's
water.
wine country. That's good stuff
I
there.
don't know what it is.
My parents live in Prince Edward County.
Do they? Wow.
The
On
county.
the water?
They love it there?
No, they retired lawyers live on the water side of the bay because they live on the road that runs right up the bay across from Belleville. So if you're like a retired lawyer or something, you might live on the side where you would have water. If you're a retired TTC bus driver, you live on the other side and get an insane view of the water.
Nice.
Yeah. My parents' house goes straight up, and if you go to the top, you can sit there and watch the sunset over the bay in Belleville. It's very pretty.
It's not a
If it
bad
was
drive.
if it
2
was
hours.
20 minutes, if it was 20 minutes away, I might. What is 20 minutes?
2 hours from me to.
Yeah, we're about an hour and a half, and I'm probably half an hour from you.
Yeah.
I think that I was thinking about this today because we were going downtown to this planter job, and I knew we were going to do this tonight. And it's like when I'm looking at jobs, I'm constantly calculating how long it's going to take to get to them, how close they are to suppliers. It's insanely complex because if you fuck up that calculation, you fuck up the whole job. And I thought Chad never does any of that shit.
Here I am trying to buy a cottage.
No, I meant you don't have to if someone calls you, you're not because this started for me on Saturday because we got a lead to go look at a set of steps at a church. And because I thought it might be something we could do over the winter. And it's somewhat of emergency because the current situation is that it's heating up and they can't open the door, which I think is hard if you're a church because you obviously want to let people in, but it also could be hard if there was an emergency and people needed to get out. If the door is blocked by the heat and concrete. So I thought this is something maybe we could do in the near future. And since I'm just always looking for projects and opportunities, I decided to go there. And when I typed it into my phone, it came up to take the 401 to the Allen and the Allen South to Eglinton. And immediately I was like, I don't want anything to do with this job. Because you could be like an hour at the intersection, a full hour at the intersection of Allen Road South and Eglinton trying to turn right.
That's been in traffic for like a decade. Or that's been in construction for like a decade.
At least, potentially more.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever going south on the Allen and it being good to turn right onto Eglinton.
Yeah.
In my lifetime. But it has been particularly shitty for at least a decade. And as I was doing that, I thought, I bet that this never, because of Chad's location, and I actually thought about this for you too, Mike, in Kitchener or in Cornwall, do you guys ever spend any time worrying about the location of the property when you're doing the bid? for the job.
No, that's why I like Kitchener.
Not once have I ever worried about location.
So I endlessly search location and time. I spend a horrid amount of time figuring out, because that's what all we do is drive places. This week, the guys had a job. They wrapped trees in Peterborough. They were supposed to wrap trees in Barrie, but they didn't. Then we went to Then we're going to downtown Toronto for 2 days at Yonge and Adelaide, and then we're going to Mississauga. All in 1 week. So we got Barrie, Peterborough, Mississauga, and downtown, like hardcore downtown Toronto, as downtown as you can get in 1 fucking week.
Yikes.
And I thought, if we just were in a different place, this wouldn't matter. The traffic is so fucked up in Durham now that you have to start calculating, like if a job's in Oshawa, that will be a more expensive job than a job's in Whitby, because the Whitby's close to the suppliers and the traffic is so bad getting to Oshawa across Taunton. You can't count on it being 20 minutes or whatever. Like, it's better to take the 407 just to move around and fuck it. How much do you guys think our 407 bill was this month?
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Take a guess.
I would say 1,500.
What are you saying, Chad?
2,200.
$6,800.
Wow.
Holy jeez. What's a flatbed delivery where you guys are at?
It depends. I think the flat rate, if you're zone 1, is $150, or maybe it's more. Maybe it's somewhere
That's
between
cheap.
150 and 200. Yeah, but that's within like 15 minutes of the supply yard.
Oh, okay. So
I
then,
still think delivery is out. Like like getting stuff delivered is still always way cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you my flat rate deliveries for our business, supply business, is similar to everybody's. Otherwise, I wouldn't be competitive, right?
right.
So I actually have it on an app here. So I have 4 territories because I'm too lazy to make up more than that. And it's already confusing for clients when you have 4 territories. So
You have
it's
it on
fine.
an app? Your different territories?
It's in my files.
Oh, okay.
So I can send it to people if someone calls me.
Yeah.
It's in my files on my phone. Shit. That's territory 4. Territory 3. Fuck, of course the last one I fucking press. That's some drawing I don't need. Okay, territory 1 is flat rate delivery is $150. Territory 2 flat rate delivery is $230. So do you want to know where these territories are to keep this in perspective? Because it's not very helpful if I'm just saying. Is that one?
What are these triaxle dumps, or are you actually bringing out a flatbed with pavers and stuff?
No, these are triaxle dump trucks.
Okay.
If you want, I can put the flat deck on one of our bin trucks, and or I think we can get 8 skids of pavers on it.
And you'll do this for $150 in zone 1 with a triaxle?
Well, with the bin truck, we would do it.
Okay.
So the problem is that with a flat deck, I probably wouldn't do it because you got to load the stuff, right? I would probably charge hourly for it.
Gotcha.
It depends on what you're doing too, and so territory 1 for us is Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, Brooklyn. That's territory 1. Territory 3 flat rate is $345 delivery, and that's North York, Newmarket, Beaches, Coburg, Lindsay, Peterborough. And territory 4 is Toronto, Etobicoke, Mississauga, and the flat rate delivery is $395.
So if I was to get a bin from you on the east end of Mississauga, the
Oh,
very east end,
that's not part of that. Like, what are you putting in it?
Phil.
Phil, East End, Mississauga. So you territory 4 in Mississauga. Jesus. This was easier when I didn't have all this other shit in the files that I downloaded accidentally. What do you want a fill bin with 3/4 clear in it, or you just want a fill bin?
I just want to fill. I want to put Phil into the bin.
I know, but do you want to bring gravel with it and dump it so that you don't have to pay a delivery charge on your gravel?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Because that's a big selling feature for us is if you order a bin for us, we'll bring the gravel and there's no extra charge except for the cost of the gravel.
Nice. Do a lot of bin companies not do that around here? Around GTA?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, interesting.
So I think that they charge extra. I don't know. It's part of our service. So a 14-yard clean fill bin with 12 yards of 3/4 clear HL6 or HL3 in Mississauga. Make sure we're doing this because people might listen and then call me, is $1,085.
That's, sorry, 14 yards of 3/4 clear?
14, no, you get a 14-yard fill bin
Yeah,
with 12 yards of 3/4 clear
12 yards of 3/4 clear.
because you can't get 14 yards into the bins with a fucking
Right.
loader. I mean, you worked at a supply yard, you know you can't load the corners, and
Yeah.
so there's always like a 2-yard difference between a 14-yard bin and a delivery. So that's 1,085 plus HST, Mike. You got a job in Mississauga?
No, that was just from my last one that I talked about a couple of episodes ago.
What,
Where
you got a job?
Yeah, the guy came out and said, cash,
Oh,
money.
yeah. What did he charge you?
He was, I don't know. I can go back in my messages. I want to say like 400. That
How-
wasn't bringing gravel. That was
How big of a bin?
it's a good question. It's back in my messages. I can't remember that far back.
What kind of truck did they bring it on? A single axle or a tandem?
I don't even remember.
Oh, Mike, what do you remember?
You think with how much I think about equipment and trucks and stuff, you think I would remember that detail?
No. I don't think you remember that detail. I knew you didn't know that detail when I asked you. I was like, there's no fucking. If that happened to me, I could probably tell you the brand of the truck. I dropped it off.
Or 2375 after tax, 375 before tax. And that was six. I think they brought like an 8-yard or 10-yard bin or something.
10-yard bins for us local, because they were obviously local, are
Yeah, they were very
I think around $400. I don't remember it. There's so much fucking shit. Mulch, 3/4 clear, HPB, fucking
Yeah.
A gravel, sand, black mulch, red mulch, cedar mulch, fucking SPM, shredded pine mulch, the deadly spreaded pine mulch.
Have you been asked to deliver rock mulch?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's fucking pea gravel. But the architect with his giant brain has decided on this retirement home job it's going to be called a rock mulch
Why don't I just call it pea gravel?
because rock mulch sounds way more sophisticated.
That's going to cause havoc for those people.
Yeah.
I figure rock mulch would be like HPB.
No.
Think of it like shredded pea stone.
Are you putting?
We're putting rock mulch in.
But are you putting filter cloth under it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's still going to cause havoc.
Yeah, it's still going to cause havoc. I don't give a shit. So we did a probably $120,000 planting in courtyards for another similar project with the same architect 2 or 3 years ago. This year, they hired someone to go in there and take all of the planting out of the courtyards and replace it with sod. $120,000 to do the work, at least. And I don't know, however many tens of thousands.
Do you think they did that though because they had to get their LC back from the city? and there was a requirement. And now that they've got their LC back from the city, they're gonna, because one time we did an entire road of permeable pavers so that the owner of the property could get a better leads rating.
I get it.
And then, hold on. But when we were done, and because we had to go back the next year to do our, like our repairs and stuff. When we went back, this was like 25,000 square feet of pavers in a road. This wasn't a small thing, permeable pavers. It was for the water treatment plant in Pickering. And in order to get a silver leads rating, they had to have a permeable road. But as soon as they got the rating and they hung it on the wall and all the construction was over, they hired a paving company and they came and paved over the pavers, like right on top of it.
I get it. Great. Get your rating or whatever. But if you're going to do that, put all the planting on the outside where you don't have to crane it over the building to get rid of it after.
Hmm.
You know? If you're
Why didn't they hire you to fix it?
I don't know. They hired someone else.
Did you price it?
Nope. We weren't even called.
Was there rock mulch?
There was some rock mulch in there, yeah.
Was it called rock mulch?
No, it was called Riverstone then. I don't know what changed in the fucking guy's mind. Just all of a sudden call it rock mulch on the new job.
Oh, rock mulch.
Rock mulch, yeah.
Do you think the old people like the grass better?
I don't know. I remember there was a sandbox we had to put in for like the Alzheimer's people that play in the sand. I don't know if that stayed. They took that out too.
They took out the sandbox?
I'm not sure. I didn't walk through the job.
Maybe it was attracting cats.
In the courtyard?
Did they put a cover on the sandbox at night?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe cat. Are they allowed cats? Probably not, eh?
We did a therapy courtyard at Peterborough Hospital where it was all these different stations, and there was like a set of stairs to nothing and a golf green so you could practice walking on the grass. And it was an area where there was all different surfaces, concrete, interlock, smooth interlock, rough interlock. It was because when you're out in the courtyard and you're retraining yourself how to walk, it gave you the opportunity to walk on different things and take small steps up and small steps down. And it was kind of cool, I guess. Unless you were the person who, had some kind of problem and was retraining yourself, you'd probably get pretty sick of it fast, but it was pretty neat to build.
Yeah, I can see that.
So did you crane all the plants in?
No, we put it all in before the walls were up.
Did you have to do any warranty work?
No, not in the courtyard.
Did you say I'm not doing any warranty work on this courtyard?
No, they didn't. They never even asked.
So did you crane all the stuff out? Did they have to crane it all out?
Yes, so they paid someone else to crane it all out into dump trucks and bins. Actually, they came and dumped some of the nice soil at my yard so I can screen it again.
That's some profitable soil.
Yeah, I love that. Bring the soil back to the yard. Anytime anybody
I
wants
saw that Andy is selling these Rotostar buckets. Is that what you have?
Yep.
How come you didn't get that gig?
They have one Canadian reseller. They're out in Alberta and they were completely useless. But the agreement is only this company from Alberta can resell them. They have the sole rights.
You should have gone and got one from Andy and just driven it across the border.
I had mine before Andy had his.
I don't know if he has one, but he has a deal with them.
Yeah, we talked about it at H&A.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was getting one. His goes on a skid steer and a shovel, I think. Mine only goes on the shovel.
I feel like that would be a big pump to run for a skid steer. Or the pump on the skid steer be working hard to run that.
It doesn't take a lot of pressure.
No?
No. It's very low. Like I can't even dial down my Hitachi that low to what it takes to run it.
Really?
Yeah. It's just
pretty
rotating.
cool.
It's just rotating stars.
I thought it would take more.
No. There's not that much resistance. payments on it.
Well, you should get the Canadian deal.
Should. I'm not a
Get the
retailer.
No, I'm talking about the Canadian influencer deal.
Oh. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
what I'm talking about. You got to rock that Canadian influencer deal.
Yeah. Canadian influencer. It's an oxymoron.
All right. I feel like this is the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
This is the end. Do we need to read an affirming statement at the end, or can we just end it?
You're the king.
Let's just end it. We'll look for a new affirming statement next week.
Thank you for watching. Yeah, those people run the world. They're so impressive. What a bunch of freaks.